Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, this is the exact moment in which I can say welcome in this beautiful European city of science, Katowice, Poland. Hello and welcome. Thank you for this round of applause, and I hope that you will have this round of applause for all the speakers that will come up on this stage today. It's a pleasure and actually a privilege for me to welcome you on EURAXESS Biennial Conference 2024. This is a unique event during which we can celebrate the 20th anniversary of EURAXESS, a beautiful example of cooperation between European Commission and 43 countries, actually all around the world. So again, welcome and thank you to all of you who are here with us in Silesian Museum in Katowice, but also who are watching us via internet, because our conference is held both inside here in the museum and online. So welcome, and again, thank you very much for being with us. I think I should begin telling you a word about me. What actually am I doing here? Who am I here? My name is Justyna. I'm a journalist in the National Polish Radio, and I have been selected a director, a chief, a head of National Polish Radio 4. This is a channel dedicated to young people, and National Polish Radio for kids. So I really know how important it is to speak to young people, and I'm really a bit stressed today because it is a unique opportunity for me to look at all those beautiful faces of the people from all around the world and all around Europe. And I had an opportunity to work with the Polish Academy of Sciences, talking to scientists from Brazil, from Ukraine, from Poland, from India. And I asked them one thing: what is crucial to you as a scientist, as a researcher? What is crucial to you to develop your research? And they all said, I spoke to Taina, I spoke to Fabrizio, I spoke to Nilesh, and they all said traveling abroad, going abroad, traveling to different countries, meeting people from different countries. So I'm really happy that you will spend 3 days here in Katowice exchanging your experiences from all around different places in Europe and maybe also different places in the world. As you probably know, our conference is organized by the European Commission in cooperation with the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange, NAWA. So I would like to thank you to all the people from the European Commission and from EURAXESS and from NAWA who are today with us. And we can give them a round of applause. Maybe you wonder what we are doing here in Katowice. Of course, this is the best Silesian city, and you just had to come here, and you just have to see the beautiful places that we have here. But Katowice are here not by coincidence. As you know, the EURAXESS conference is held every 2 years in different cities and countries, and we always have a competition. This time we had 3 proposals, and Katowice was chosen from those 3 proposals as the best place to have all of you here, to see the city, to see the people from Katowice. So I will welcome the Vice Mayor of Katowice on this stage in a second. I think that he will give you a warm and welcome in this place. I hope you enjoy your time here. I hope that you have some information. This is about me. Yes, I would like to show you some housekeeping rules for the event. The event is taking place here in the Silesian Museum, but also online. For all those of you who are here with us, I would like to ask you to be silent during the meeting so that we can all, benefit from the speakers and from the presentations that are going to be prepared during the show. Please respect the time on which we start our sessions, because we really want to be on time today, because we've prepared a lot of information for you, so we want to give it all as briefly as possible. And Slido, this is quite an important word for the conference today. Maybe we can show you the Slido QR code. Yes. I think that EURAXESS is a very interesting community, and we are going to show you this community aspect during the whole conference today and the next days. That's why we want you to create this community with us. We want you to create this event with us. So please, in the very beginning, use the Slido to tell me which country you are from. We will have the moment during the session today to check which countries came to Katowice, which countries are watching us, actually which representatives from the countries are watching us and being here with us in the museum. And during the panels, we will use the Slido to ask questions. If you have any questions that you would like to ask to the speakers, just don't hesitate to use this Slido application. I can see now everybody is looking in their smartphones. I'll wait for that. Yeah, sure. Okay, so some information from me. And please, if you need anything, I'm just here for you. Usually they say that I'm a host of the event. During this event, I was named Master of Ceremony, which is very nice. And I really try to feel myself in this, in this Master of Ceremony role. So if you need anything during breaks, during the conference, just don't hesitate to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin this event inviting to the stage the first speaker. And I will tell you a kind of a private story about him. We spoke before the event, and I asked him, is that your first time in Katowice? Is that your first stay in Poland? And he was like, oh my God, no. I've been to Katowice during a great festival of science, and it was super cool, and I'm planning to come here again, because I really appreciate this place, and I really want to be with you here. That's why I would like to ask you to give a warm welcome to the head of unit at the European Commission, responsible for ERA, European Research Area, spreading excellence and research careers, Manuel Aleixo. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, dear friends. Indeed, as Justina mentioned, it is not my first time in Katowice, and it will not be my last time, certainly. Because, as you know, Katowice is a city of science this year, and there are many events going on, so it's really the place to be when we are talking about science events of all kinds. And indeed, I take the advantage of publicizing a little bit an event that will take place in September, which is the European Contest for Young Scientists. That will take place here in Katowice, and it's really a wonderful event. Welcome to the EURAXESS Biennial Conference, and I would like to extend a very warm word of thanks to the city of Katowice, represented here, of course, by the Deputy Mayor. A warm word of thanks also to the Undersecretary of State for being here with us, and of course the Deputy Rector of the University of Silesia, and the Acting Director of NAVA. Welcome also, and thank you for being here with us. And thank you also to all of those who organized this event, to colleagues from the European Commission who are here present and who have been working very hard, to the contractors, to the EURAXESS staff, and to the Polish colleagues who have really helped with organizing this event. And what is this event? I think that this is not so much of a conference, it's more of a birthday party. It is a 20th anniversary of EURAXESS. And can anybody remember what it is like to be 20 years old? I tried a little bit before coming here. It's a beautiful age. It's full of promise, full of possibilities, with the future ahead. And this is why I appeal to you to, yes, it's important to look a little bit to the past, to what we've been doing in the past few years, but I think it's even more important to spend the days here together talking about the future and the possibilities that the future brings. Because I think that is what being 20 is about. That is why what I remember about being 20 years old was about dreaming of the future. And what is the future of EURAXESS? Is it still relevant? Is it still necessary? I would suggest that not only is it relevant and necessary, it is more and more important in the world that we live in today. Recently, we saw a report prepared by Enrico Letta. It was called Much More Than a Market. It was about the single market, and it discussed what the single market needs to be tomorrow. And it talked about the fifth freedom. As you know, the single market traditionally has the four freedoms of the free movement of people, goods, services, and capital, but it talked about this fifth freedom that we can talk about, we can describe as the freedom of research, the freedom of education, the freedom of movement of knowledge, in other words, also the European research area. And what he says is, in his report, is that he says that this fifth freedom hinges upon the mobility of researchers, the seamless mobility of researchers in the European Union. And it is really essential to have a connected, integrated, highly skilled scientific community. And I think that the fact that Enrico Letta today talks about the need for us to think about the fifth freedom for the future, this shows how important an initiative like EURAXESS is, because it not only involves the European Commission, it's not a purely European initiative, it also involves the member states and actors at the level of different countries, not only EU member states, of course, but also associated countries and even third countries, many of whom are represented here today. Yesterday we had the completion of the European elections, and of course I'm not going to comment the results of the European elections. But during the campaign we see politicians sometimes struggling in identifying things that are European initiatives that connect with people, that make a real difference in people's lives. And I think EURAXESS is really a concrete example of European collaboration, of an initiative that makes a real difference to real people. In the research community, of course, but that has a real impact in everyday life. And I think this initiative, as well as other issues in terms of research policy, has to be seen also in the broader geopolitical context. We look at Europe in relation to other blocs, other regions in the world, and we see that there is a relative stagnation over the past 20 years in areas such as patents, publications, or even investment in terms of GDP. And I think it's important to consider that we are much stronger when we work together. We are much more effective when we can collaborate together. And by collaboration, I don't mean initiatives that come from Brussels and that are directed by Brussels. I mean initiatives that bring together in fruitful collaboration actors in the different countries. You know that there's this joke about the countries in Europe, where there are two types of countries in Europe. There are the small countries and those who haven't understood that they're small yet. And of course, this is a little bit, I think, the reality that we have to be confronted with, is that we do need a very strong platform of cooperation. And in this particular case, in the case of research, EURAXESS is really an incredible example. So we are here to celebrate EURAXESS, but who is EURAXESS? Who are we going to celebrate? I think EURAXESS is all of you. And for that reason, I think it is your birthday party, and I wish you happy birthday. Thank you.
Manuel, could you please stay for a second with me on the stage? Can I ask you to stay with me for a second? Because I need to ask you, what were your dreams when you were 20? You remember your dreams when you were 20?
Well, what I remember about being 20, the few things that I still remember about being 20 was indeed the fact that everything seemed possible. And again, I think this is something that we should always try to recover throughout our lives, this feeling of possibility, that nothing really is impossible. And I think we lose it a little bit as we go along.
True. That's actually the question that Manuel wasn't prepared for, but you are prepared for another question about the future, since you are the head of Unit A2, ERA, Spreading Excellence and Research Careers. And speaking about the next policy agenda, what role can EURAXESS play in it?
Well, in the next ERA policy agenda, the issue of careers, of talents, will be absolutely crucial. It will be central. And of course, EURAXESS is a key piece of what we are doing in terms of promoting careers in research. So I think EURAXESS has to play a fundamental role. Now the challenge for us is to choose actions in the next ERA policy agenda, whether it's in the area of careers or in other areas, that are ambitious, that really push our boundaries in the future, and that are not just business as usual. So this is a little bit a challenge for all of us, not just for the Commission, to try to be ambitious in this area, and also to be ambitious for EURAXESS, to ask more of it.
So fingers crossed for that, and I would like to say sorry. I really would like to would you excuse me by calling this event a conference? Now I'll start calling it a birthday party.
Birthday party.
Manuel Alessio, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So since we've changed the perspective, now I would like to welcome you on this great birthday party, and I would like to welcome on the stage, well actually not on the stage, but virtually, another very important person. Manuel said this sentence, we are stronger when we work together. Another wonderful person who's working together with EURAXESS is Iliana Ivanova, Commissioner for Innovation, Research, Culture, Education, and Youth. Now I smile, because youth is always also my very important topic. She's now this European Commissioner, but she previously served as a member of the European Court of Auditors and as a member of the European Parliament and as a member of Sofia City Council. So a great experience. And now let's watch her greetings. We need the sound, please. I can try to read the lips. Thank you. Don't take pictures now, please. Don't do this to her, no. Give us a second, please.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to celebrate the 20th anniversary of EURAXESS, a key initiative of the European Research Area. For 20 years, you have been a beacon of collaboration, bridging borders, connecting minds, facilitating the mobility of researchers across Europe and beyond. I'm proud that more than 100,000 researchers are active on the EURAXESS platform today, with an average of 60,000 jobs, funding and hosting opportunities published each year. By providing resources, support, and a dynamic network, the platform has nurtured a vibrant research community that has greatly contributed to the advancement of science, technology, and innovation in numerous fields. This success has been made possible by the tireless efforts of many. EURAXESS bridgehead organizations, service centers and contact points, EURAXESS worldwide hubs, researchers, institutions, partners, and stakeholders. Thank you for your long-standing commitment. Looking now into the future, I'm thrilled that today we launch the revamped EURAXESS platform. It is designed to be more user-friendly, accessible, more attractive to the private sector, offering researchers the tools they need to thrive in an increasingly complex world. We are also proud to unveil today the ERA Talent Platform, which will make it easier for researchers and institutions to access a range of services and initiatives, including EURAXESS, HR Excellence in Research, ReSaver, and the Research Careers Observatory. These developments show our commitment to supporting researchers at all stages of their careers, strengthening the European research area, and ensuring that Europe remains a core player in the science and technology domain. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has been part of this journey. Let us celebrate our achievements, embrace the future, and continue working together to support our talents throughout Europe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Iliana Ivanova, Commissioner for Innovation, Research, Culture, Education and Youth. And I'll tell you what happened with this video, because I know what happened. When Manuel was speaking about the birthday party, Iliana called us and said, stop my video, because maybe I'll come to this birthday party, I'll change my plans. So that was the technical surprise that we had for you. I always smile when things like that happen, because it shows that we are here for real and everything is possible. And just as Manuel said, we have to be prepared for everything that is possible, so beware. We just started the conference, so we still don't know what's going to be in front of us. Well, actually, I know what's going to be in front of us. I know what's going to happen. We have to invite to the stage the person who is hosting us in Katowice. I think he can be quite proud of his city. He's very connected to Katowice. He studied at the University of Silesia. He had his master's degree in the University of Silesia. And I'll tell you one, maybe not private, but quite an interesting thing about him. He's quite a new person as a deputy mayor of Katowice, and I think that is going to be his first speech as the deputy mayor of Katowice. So please give a warm welcome to Maciej Biskupski, deputy mayor of Katowice. Welcome, sir.
Yes, exactly. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my first performance. I hope it's a great sign that I can speak to you here with a significant guest, and it's really a great honor for me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a really great honor for all of us, and I speak here in behalf of Mr. Marcin Krupa, the mayor of the city of Katowice. We would like to welcome you to EURAXESS Biennial conference. This year, conference takes place in Poland for the first time and is hosted here in Katowice. I'm really happy and I'm proud of the fact that so many of you came to join us for such a significant event for the world of science and our city, of course. Katowice is the first city in history in Central and Eastern Europe to have received the title of European City of Science 2024. It's a really great honor for all of us or inhabitants. This achievement is the reward for hard work we put into the transformation of the post-industrial region into a strong scientific center where modern technologies are developing dynamically. Currently, the 7 universities in the academic consortium offer 747 fields of study, and Katowice is home to approximately 50,000 students with 12,000 graduates each year. The title of the City of Science will also bring long-term benefits for the city, of course. I think and I hope it will help create the new academic facilities, new research teams, new infrastructure, and as a consequence, will certainly attract more investors, boosting economic development. It's an opportunity to make another huge developmental step thanks to good collaboration and cooperation between our scientist community, local businesses, and local government. Now, in the world struggling with the consequence of the pandemic, the war, and escalating costs of energy, the development of science is an investment into the future. As the motto of Katowice City of Science says, science will give us future. Dear guests, I hope for all of you participating of our meeting and our conference will be a great opportunity to share experience, knowledge, and you will be inspired by Katowice and its transformation. If you decide to stay in our city for longer, I cordially invite you to participate in the EURAXESS Open Forum 2024, which will take place in Katowice from the 12th to 15th of June 2004 at the International Congress Center. Dear guests, have a good time in Katowice. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you much, sir. Maciej Biskupski, Vice Mayor of Katowice. Of course, I would like to ask you what were your dreams when you were 20, but I'll do it next time during your second speech as a Vice Mayor. Thank you very much. Again, a round of applause for Mr. Mayor. The first speech as a person on this, playing this role. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mayor used the word team. I like this word team because I usually like to say that good things are we come up with good things when we are in a team. So if I can ask our great technical team to show us the effects of Slido voting about the countries that you are, that you are from. So many people, so many places. We have people from Germany, Poland, France, Georgia, Switzerland, China, Montenegro, Hungary, Czech Republic, Finland, Israel, Republic of Moldova, United Kingdom. So it's so nice to have you with us, and I hope you enjoy the event here in the Silesian Museum, and of course, watching us online. Somebody is using this Slido again. I need to put Poland again. I need to put Czech Republic, more people from Czech Republic. Okay, just vote for your country, of course, and use this Slido application. This will be quite useful during the day one of the conference. Now I would like to welcome to the stage, I'll tell you something as a journalist. He's quite often invited to different interviews in Polish media because he's a hell of a speaker, really he is. Now I can introduce him as Undersecretary of State, Ministry of Science and Higher Education, but I had a great opportunity and privilege to know him in a podcast about Polish science, in which he told everything. He had an answer to any question that I could ask him. Professor Andrzej Szeptycki, that's the moment when he's on the stage, and that's the moment for the round of applause. Welcome, Mr. Professor.
Thank you very much for these kind words of introduction. You know, there is a problem. We haven't discussed it before during the lunch. There is a difference between being a professor and being a minister. Because when you are a professor, basically you got invited to speak about what you are working on all your life. So it's fascinating. And when you're a minister, you go from one conference to another and you get, a piece of paper which says what you are to say. So sometimes, the performance, do you hear me? Sometimes the performance, is somehow different, okay? But I will try to do my best after this introduction. Dear guests, it's a great honor for me to welcome you here at this birthday party, the 20th anniversary of EURAXESS. The timing and the location of this event indeed highlights Poland's commitment to European academic and research excellence. Katowice, which has been recognized European City of Science 2024, serves as a testament to our dedication to fostering scientific excellence and innovation. We've been celebrating a month ago 20th anniversary of Poland's membership in the EU. And this is indeed a major step for Polish science, for Polish universities, higher education, because thanks to EU, we got access to EU science programs, we got access to exchange programs. Basically, we could develop our cooperation with our EU partners. And one of important elements, one of important instruments we could also use is the EURAXESS. We also celebrate its 20th anniversary this year, an initiative which aims at supporting the development and mobility of researchers at all the stages of their careers, which is to break down the barriers and facilitate a seamless flow of knowledge and expertise across the borders. Poland has been an active member of the EURAXESS science community since 2004, and we've seen indeed a growing number of international collaborations and joint research projects involving Polish scholars thanks to this initiative. The EURAXESS also gave Poland a strong impetus to start implementing the standards, the highest standards set in the European Charter for Researchers and in the Code of Conduct for recruitment of researchers. As for today, Poland is the second country after Spain with the highest number of institutions awarded with the HR Excellence in Research Award. We do recognize the role of these standards, and we try to support, to favor those Polish institutions which do implement them. For that reason, in particular, we give extra points in parametric assessments to the scientific units which received that award. These institutions are also promoted in the calls announced by our rating agencies, such as the National Science Center and the National Center for Research and Development. At the Ministry of Science, I am responsible for international cooperation. And well, indeed, it makes no doubt for us that the internationalization of science and higher education sector is one of the key conditions for achieving excellence in research. This can be successfully achieved through a sustained legal and financial framework, but also thanks to a good transnational cooperation and sharing of best practices, as within the EURAXESS. We also need to define our both strategic and operational goals, both at the EU level and at the national levels. We, as Poland, we have recently embarked for the first time since 2015. We've started to work on a new national strategy of internationalization of science and higher education. This is a strategy which is being prepared by the National Agency for Academic Exchange under the patronage of the ministry, but the team working on it involves representatives of the NAWA, of the ministry, of different Polish universities, research institutes, and so on. We've had in May the first Congress of Internationalization, which focused on mobility of the students. We will have another one in the fall of this year, which will focus on the internationalization of Polish science. As I've said, we are trying to develop our national strategy, but it will be deeply connected to our membership in the EU. And in that context, of course, when working on that strategy, we will be also using the EURAXESS and its experience related to the recruitment and mobility of scholars. For these reasons, I would like first to wish you a happy birthday, especially to those of you who've been involved, not like me, I'm a politician, okay? But for those of you, I just come, with a piece of paper, okay? And I go to another conference. But I would like to wish you a happy birthday for those of you who've been working, who've been involved in the EURAXESS for these 20 years. And I would also like to wish you fruitful debates during this conference, discussions, and workshops. Thank you very much.
Sir, I would like to thank you very much for your both faces, the professor face and the ministry face. And I have a question, maybe it would be for the ministry face. As far as I know, we have quite a big challenge. I mean, making international scientists stay in Europe, be in Europe. How to do that? What's your point of view on that?
There is one at least obvious answer, more money. Okay. It's not the only one. It's not the only one, certainly. Position and image of our universities, that's another one. For the moment, when you look at the rankings, despite having EU in the QS world ranking, first 10 universities are basically non-EU. US, UK, Singapore, Switzerland as well, and UK. Okay. But to look for some less obvious answers, I think first, we have to promote an alternative to the concept of brain drain. And rather, we should speak about brain circulation. We don't want our scholars from Poland, let's say, okay, to massively go to US, let's say, or even to UK. But today, thanks to the internet, we've seen it. Didn't work very well, but never mind. I mean, with Commissar Ivanova. With Zoom and with cheap flights, you can easily work both in Poland and in US. And there are lots of scholars who work like that. Okay. Next, we have to keep developing European scientific infrastructure. It is, I would say, quite good, but we must not stop that. Like you have the European Center for Nuclear Research, CERN, where they are now planning this new future Hadron Collider, FCC, 100 kilometers long, okay? It is to cost, I don't remember, $23 billion, something like that. They would like to construct it by 2040s. But if we want scholars to stay here, we have to give them work, okay? And one last remark about our activities here in Poland. At the National Agency for Academic Exchange, we call NAWA in Polish, we have two programs which partially answer your question. One is called Powroty, which means the returns. And the idea is we are giving scholarships for Polish scholars or scholars of Polish origins who are working abroad. So we are paying them to come back to Poland. And that's how we are able to attract some Poles from whatever, Cambridge, to get them to come back to Poland and to work here. Since 2018, when the returns program was established, we've got to come back to Poland some 76 scholars who decided to establish their center of activities here. We have also another program which is called the Poland My First Choice, and in that case we are targeting the non-Polish scholars from highly developed countries. So this is an idea, not let Poles go abroad, but to do make, Americans, British, Germans come to work, at least for a few years, to Poland.
That actually could be the beginning of a very interesting interview.
I hope to get a good grade.
Meet you next time. Now you understand why Polish media loves him. Thank you very much, Professor. Professor
Thank you very much.
Told you. Thank you. Professor Szeptycki said that we need strong academic institutions, strong academic organizations, we need strong universities. And now, this is the good moment to invite to the stage a person who represents quite a strong university, a strong academic institution here in Poland. He's also our host here in Katowice. It's very nice for me to say hello and welcome to the Professor of Law, academic and a researcher at the University of Silesia. He's the Vice Rector for International and Domestic Cooperation, Professor Tomasz Pietrzykowski. Let's give him a warm welcome. Welcome, Mr. Professor. I would like to invite you to the stage. Hello.
Distinguished guests, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, please let me welcome you this time on behalf of the University of Silesia, seated here, in particular my boss, the rector of that university, Professor Ryszard Koziołek, but also the whole academic community of our academic institution, as well as the mentioned earlier consortium of 7 public universities seated here in Katowice, involved together in a very close collaboration that brought to the city of Katowice the title of the European City of Science 2024. I'm really proud that this EURAXESS meeting, or I should rather say this birthday party, is taking place right here, not only in the city of Katowice, but at our neighboring and befriended institution of the Silesian Museum, the head of which, Dr. Karol Makles, is also the faculty member of the University of Silesia. So, Silesian Museum, thank you for hosting us for this wonderful event. I hope that, I'm sure actually that you will like it here in the area where probably the most profound and radical transformation in Europe is underway. The transformation that includes not only the urban districts like this one, where an old coal mine was turned into underground museum next to one of the most stunning concert halls in Europe these days, and the huge international congress center that has already hosted such events like United Nations Climate Summit COP 2018, World Urban Forum 2022, and Euroscience Open Forum mentioned earlier that is just about to begin in 2 days. That transformation includes not only these visual aspects of the city or functions of the buildings, but it includes the core of the economy, of industry, in case of which in recent decades, we've had the quickest and largest scale phasing off of the coal mining sector, the largest scale, I dare to say, that has ever happened in Europe, including the famous Margaret Thatcher reforms in the UK in the 1980s. And the reforms that produced practically no unemployment, despite the fact that we've been laying off hundreds of thousands of coal miners. The unemployment rate these days in Katowice is about 1%, and in this part of Poland is around 3%. But this transformation, it also includes the academic sector. And we have ambitions, we as universities located here, not only to keep up with this incredible pace of the changes around us, but also rise to the occasion and provide our stakeholders with our fair share of scientific support in solving problems that this kind of huge transition process must inevitably bring about. This is exactly what, for us, it is exactly what the third mission, famous third mission of universities is all about. But no university is able to meet these kind of aspirations without the best possible people, best possible minds, attracted, motivated, and satisfied with the opportunities created for them in terms of their professional development, their personal career building. And that is why we regard this conference and and EURAXESS, the idea of EURAXESS, as targeting exactly the needs that we have at the moment as Silesian and Polish universities. And I would find it also somewhat symbolic that this 20 years anniversary of EURAXESS operations is held here at the place that historically was built and shaped by enormous waves of mobilities, of attracting the most brilliant minds in Europe, in particular in the times of Industrial Revolution, by exchanges and circulation of ideas, technologies, capital, and people. So we appreciate very much this fact that the EURAXESS meeting is taking place here, as much as the EURAXESS contribution to the quality of the European academic life. And we are grateful for the chance to participate and benefit from what is going on to be discussed and perhaps decided, not only celebrated here. So I'd like to thank NAVA, above all, for this initiative to locate and organize the meeting here in Katowice. Please let me extend my gratitude particularly to the acting director of the agency, Mrs. Zofia Sawicka, to Mrs. Anna Wojciechowska, the person you probably all know, directly in charge of all organizational works and preparations. I'd like to thank our colleagues from the European Commission for approving that idea and supporting us along the way. And above all, I would like to thank all of you for coming to us, for visiting us, and being part of this marvelous meeting and marvelous initiative that EURAXESS constitutes. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you very much.
Just one sentence more as regard birthday wishes. Please let me do it later tonight because I'm going to join you at the party, the dinner, so I will have this opportunity. I have not forgotten about that.
But sir, I have one more question to you, and it's not about you being 20 because it's been like 2 years ago, so we probably don't want to talk about that. But as far as I know, University of Silesia, actually a few weeks ago in May, joined the EURAXESS network. Is that true?
It is. Our rector signed an appropriate declaration, so I hope that it means that we have been accepted as
so.
Thank you.
So I can imagine that you think about some benefits that you can obtain being a part of this network. What kind of benefits you think you will get?
Well, as I said, we conceived having people of unique qualifications, knowledge, talents, commitment to pursuing truth as a pivotal aspect, the indispensable asset of any university. And we not only cherish the HR Excellence logo, and we have taken it so seriously that if you let me self-advertise a little bit, we have been awarded the prize of the best academic employer in Poland by Forbes magazine last year. So we really take it seriously to try to be an attractive employer and be able to offer everything that these best minds, best people in academia can expect from the university. So in this sense, the joining EURAXESS is a natural next step in that direction. So simply speaking, we want to become a part of that circulation of brains, and we want to learn and profit from the accumulated knowledge and expertise of these 20 years of EURAXESS existence.
So that's your first year, but you already can, take part in a party, like on the occasion of 20th anniversary. Thank you very much, sir. Professor Tomasz Pietrzykowski. Thank you. Speaking about self-advertising, I told you that he represents quite a strong organization, quite a strong university. That was just the proof of that. Ladies and gentlemen, we like to say this sentence last but not least, and that's the moment in which I can use this phrase, last but not least. I would like to welcome to the stage a very important woman for this event. She's important because in 2016, at the Ministry of Science and Higher Education here in Poland, she worked on the concept of the creation and operation of the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange. As it was told in the beginning of our birthday party, this conference, this event is organized by the European Commission with cooperation with NAWA, the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange. So I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage Dr. Zofia Sawicka, Acting Director General of NAWA. Please give her a warm welcome. Hello. The stage is yours again.
Good afternoon. I would like to start to say thank you and some greetings to Anna Wiśniewska and Monika Zaremba. Could you show up? These two brave women, they were responsible for transferring EURAXESS from another agency, CBR, 2 years ago to NAWA. And they wanted to do it very quickly. And that time I couldn't understand why we have to hurry so much. But today I know they wanted to do it before the 20th anniversary of EURAXESS, to be EURAXESS a part of NAWA during this birthday today. So thank you, and I'm very happy that we can run EURAXESS together. In the dynamic world, the role of scientists is becoming more and more important, more diverse and responsible, both in terms of the questions they ask and the solutions they propose. They often combine research with a variety of functions and tasks in the academic, public, and private sectors. As a result, research careers have become more diverse and less linear. All these changes and the responses to them have been going on for a long time at various levels. Scientists, stakeholders, politicians, and institutions are all involved. This adds to the challenge of coordinating activities and financial resources. The Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange, NAWA, which I represent, is striving to meet these challenges, including the areas covered by EURAXESS. Let me name 4 points which show our commitment to help mobile researchers. We will count to 4. First, the Welcome to Poland program. The aim of the program is to support Polish universities and researchers institutions in creating a welcoming environment for international students and researchers. The scope of the program is not only creation of welcome centers. The grants, finance, trainings, integration event, and dedicated apps. The beneficiaries of the Welcome to Poland program become members of the European EURAXESS network. So that's the first point, how we do synergies between EURAXESS and our financing schemes. In our incoming mobility schemes for researchers, we finance an allowance for a body so that we can be sure that our fellows will get a proper assistance in all their life and work issues. Third point, we were one of the first agencies in Europe which introduced an allowance for researchers with disabilities who travel with an assistant. And fourth, NAWA was a part in a Uniwalis project financed by Erasmus+ and coordinated by SAIA, and to be more personal, by Karla Zimanova. Karla, are you here? I can't see you because the light is... In this project, we have delivered following outcomes: a report about international researchers in our region, a database of good practices in the field of welcoming services with very detailed description on how to introduce and run the practices, an application which works as a search engine of good practices, and a training manual for professional staff coping with mobile researchers on their everyday basis. We don't stop on these 4 points. Next step planned for this year is creation of NAVA EURAXESS network in 16 Polish regions. We believe that offering a high-quality EURAXESS advice and support on a regional level will have a significant positive impact on the career and well-being of the mobile researchers and their families. And now, sorry, a small personal note. My grandfather, who was a professor of economics, was always telling us, being a researcher is not a profession, it is a lifestyle. I think EURAXESS is the initiative which shows best that being a mobile researcher is a lifestyle. A lifestyle not only of the given scientist, but of the whole family. I am honored that EURAXESS Poland is a part of NAVA and that we can cooperate in committing to quality-based career development of mobile researchers. And I wanted to end with welcome to Poland, but after your introduction, it's better to say happy birthday and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I think that during the birthday party, we can all say all the time, happy birthday, and you know, we never get tired because of this. Distinguished guests, the next part of our scenario is entitled The Launch of Revamped EURAXESS and the ERA Talent Platform. This unique part of the conference will be held by the beautiful two people, she and he. And before I let them stand on the stage, I would like to tell you something about her and about him. She has been the information system coordinator of the EURAXESS portal since 2021. Maybe you all know that. She gained valuable experience as a project assistant and framework contract specialist on European Commission-funded projects, of course. She's responsible for coordinating, updating, and maintaining the portal. But tomorrow, that's her who is going to be the master of ceremony. So I can imagine that she will feel great on this stage in a second, but she will have a great company. We've been preparing this conference, this birthday party, for months, actually. We've been meeting on online meetings, Zoom meetings, Teams meetings, on rehearsals. And there is this one man who is totally dedicated to this event, who gave all his heart to this event. And I must tell you that during all the meetings, he gave also a great sense of humor and a total professionalism. And I think that you will give a warm welcome to this man and that I will read his name and surname correctly, because I was practicing that for the whole morning today. He serves as a policy officer at the European Commission's Directorate General for Research, specifically in the unit focused on the ERA, spreading excellence and research careers, and he is, of course, the responsible policy officer for EURAXESS. She is Dalila Kowielo, and he is Slaven Miślęciewicz. We have everything. Hello. Do you feel comfortable on the stage? Yes, as master. Hello, Slaven. Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, you have heard it. For 20 years, EURAXESS has been connecting researchers with opportunities, resources, and each other. And the EURAXESS network has, over the years, grown and evolved and touched lives of countless researchers. First, let us take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey of EURAXESS over the past 20 years. So please join me in watching this short video prepared for this very specific and special occasion.
In the heart of a truly open European research area, the fundamental principle of the free movement of people and ideas propels scientific progress. EURAXESS is built on this principle. Launched 2 decades ago, EURAXESS has grown into an all-in-one networking platform, empowering researchers to explore new horizons, move to other countries, and advance their careers. With opportunities to work in top labs, universities, and innovative companies, the aim is for researchers to reach their full potential and become the best in their field. This journey began in 2001 when the Council endorsed a portal to support the creation of an open and attractive labour market for researchers. In 2004, the European Commission launched the European Researchers Mobility Portal, later rebranded as EURAXESS Jobs, offering tailored information on jobs and funding. In 2008, the ERA-More network became EURAXESS Services. European Charter and Code turned into EURAXESS Rights, and ERA-Link became EURAXESS Links, then called EURAXESS Worldwide in 2013. The success of the rebranding accelerated the expansion of EURAXESS both in size and scope. The network now spans 43 European and neighbouring countries, along with 9 worldwide representations, reaching as far as Australia and New Zealand. On its 20th anniversary in 2024, EURAXESS counts more than 100,000 registered researchers. Whether you're looking to change jobs, move to another country, broaden your professional network, or need help with funding, EURAXESS has all the information, covering all stages from early career to retirement. With over 10,000 job offers available daily, its recruitment portal serves as a valuable tool for connecting organizations and research professionals. Adapting continually to user needs, EURAXESS provides guidance on career development and non-academic careers.
And one of the major things, if you want to have good researchers, if you want to have successful research at the end of the day, it's their mobility, knowing the opportunities which are existing.
Another major milestone includes the launch of the Science for Refugees initiative in 2015 to support researchers in need. And it's not just individuals who benefit from the network services.
We aim to give the research profession a common identity across Europe in a transparent, well-defined and cross-sectoral way, which will help both employers and individual researchers.
Thanks to EURAXESS, research organizations have access to the highest level of expertise. The events organized by the network further underscore its success. Since 2013, EURAXESS Worldwide has organized more than 1,200 events and meetings with over 180,000 participants. Reaching out to aspiring scientists, the Researchers in Motion Roadshow has visited 29 European cities in 22 countries, offering advice on jobs, CVs, and employment rights. The continuous growth of EURAXESS and its services have helped to push the boundaries of knowledge and contribute to the advancement of science, strengthening Europe's position in tackling societal challenges. EURAXESS, driving change, shaping tomorrow's research, science, and innovation.
As we look back, we see a journey filled with milestones and achievements. But we cannot stop there. We can make EURAXESS even better. And that's over the past years we have been listening to you, our users, research professionals and research performing organizations, the bridgehead organizations, EURAXESS service centers, EURAXESS contact points, and a variety of stakeholders, in a way to look at how can we further improve EURAXESS. Now we'll present a couple of the new main features of the revamped EURAXESS.
And of course, what we all do when we want to get a fresh start is to first get a new look. And this is exactly what we did on our portal, to get a new look and feel, which would modernize not only its aspect, but also help us conveying information in a clearer way, while remaining faithful to the original EURAXESS brand, because we all know that this is a very important part of the identity of EURAXESS. So this is the homepage as you are used to see it. You may remember this very long page, dense of information. You really needed to scroll your way down to it. And this is the homepage as you're gonna see it from now on. So what we did with this new theme starts from the homepage, because it is, of course, the first page of our portal that the users see when they browse EURAXESS. As you can see, we worked by choosing an accent color, quite a bold one, yellow, because we wanted to be modern and young. But not only this, we worked on creating some clear content blocks to really provide the users, especially the new ones, the non-familiar ones, with the services and tools available on the portal. So what is there, what EURAXESS does, what EURAXESS works for on a daily basis. We also realized that on the previous look and feel, it was not really prominent or intuitive for non-familiar users. What are the benefits I can get from EURAXESS as a researcher or as a research performing organization? So we wanted to make sure that this was very visible on the new homepage. So now it's there, it is displayed. We want to encourage new users to register, to create their profile, to share their research CV, or to post vacancies in case they are organizations. Of course, this new look and feel also impacts in a positive way the overall structure of the content. You will dive deep later on into this, which means that there is much less scrolling to do and that pages are short, even though we kept the relevant content. The same logic was, of course, applied to the menu. You see here the old menu. Of course, it was functional, but not necessarily clear, especially for new users. So we wanted something simpler, something more descriptive, something more intuitive. You're also going to go through all of the menu items and sub-items to understand why information was placed the way it is right now. But you can also see at a first glance that we really wanted to make sure a user could be anticipated what he is to expect when he decides to browse a certain section of the website. And we continue with the content blocks. You see here the beloved career development for researchers. And even though we did not apply any structural change to this page, which is amongst the most visited of the European portal, the new look and feel really helps us conveying information clearer and helps the user journey and the browsing and navigation. You see, we have the lateral menu, which already provides an overview of the content, and we have the in-page navigation. So the user can decide to read a specific paragraph and to be redirected to it already. And the overall display and presentation of information is clearer. There are the little details from the color palette of the brand. So everything, let's say, is fine-tuned for the purpose of providing with more clear and modern display. This is what we wanted to achieve with this new look and feel, which is, of course, applied across the whole portal and on national portals which have switched to the paragraph modality. A modern, clearer, and more user-friendly look, which also improved the performance of the portal, which is now more mobile, responsive, and faster, because the pages are not that long anymore. And also a better user experience through the in-page navigation, but also a customized design, because of course we really wanted to make sure we are protecting the visual identity of the brand for the sake of the online reputation. It's very recognizable. We all know the logo, the circles, the color of EURAXESS, but also to remain compliant with the European Commission visual identity. You know, this is an official Commission platform, so we use Open Europa web library components, and we had to make sure that we were compliant with this as well. And the new theme combines both aspects and achieves the objective. We talk about improved performance, so I have to mention the cross-platform responsiveness of the site. So Whether you visit EURAXESS from your tablet, from your laptop, from your mobile, you will get the same enhanced experience. And also this applies to different operating systems. And we did this not only, of course, to better the overall browsing experience, but also to think about our audience, which is spread across the world. So, of course, they use different devices and different operating systems, and we really worked to ensure the same level of performance and quality.
One more very important change relates to the structure of the European EURAXESS portal. And I will present now briefly the new structure of EURAXESS. If you look at the old structure, well, it is clear that EURAXESS is a big platform. It has more than 26,000 pages, a lot of content, a lot of functionalities, a lot of value. But it can be quite challenging for research professionals to actually find what they're looking for on EURAXESS. That's why, over the past year, we have tried to identify ways to improve the structure. And we have listened to the users, adequately represented here on this slide. What the users have told us was that the new structure should be user-centric. We followed user behavior, user journey to see how can we make them shorter and smoother. The hierarchy of the new structure should be logical, not according to us, but according to the users. The navigation should be clear, even if a non-native English speaker looks for it for the first time, they should be able to understand what to expect before they click. And finally, we aimed to respect the three clicks rule as much as possible, meaning that all important information should be accessible within 3 clicks from the homepage. If you look at the new structure of EURAXESS, well, first of all, we see the jobs and opportunities. There, in the past, we called this the jobs and funding, where in the past it had 5 different submenus. Now it only has 1, and we'll go into that into more depth. The living and working in Europe. In the past, it was called information and assistance. And here, we restructured it to make it much more intuitive. It starts with coming to Europe, then it's living in Europe, working in Europe, retiring in Europe, leaving Europe. And there's also an important section related to country information search. The career development section has not changed that much when it comes to the high-level structure. A new high-level menu is called initiatives. And this is where we are putting all important EURAXESS initiatives that we think if they will be put elsewhere won't do this initiative justice. And that's why, for the time being, we have 2 initiatives here, but this also creates a good space for future EURAXESS initiatives, which are quite unique in its nature. Another new component of the menu is called the network. And here we put all the relevant information about the network, such as information about the national portals, EURAXESS Worldwide, support centers, the network map. But what we actually saw over the past year is that for users, it is not always clear what the network is about. Just presenting them, this is the network, won't make them take advantage of what EURAXESS has to offer. So while we inform here the users about the network, in all the other pages before that, we are continuously referring them to the network. We provide the users some information, and if they want more information, we refer them to the network. And it is this channel to the network that we think will result in higher traffic towards the service centers, for example. And on the top right, you see the EURATOM platform. This is something where I will go back in no time. Now, this is the high-level menu. We also want to make sure that when users are navigating EURAXESS, that at all times they know where they are. And that's why we have also improved the breadcrumbs of EURAXESS. The new, I would say, the breadcrumbs of EURAXESS are much more simple, are visible, are descriptive. Now, While this shows the high-level structure of the new European EURAXESS platform, we also looked at how can we improve the structure of the inner pages. As Dala mentioned, pages tend to get quite lengthy. It can be quite difficult for users to navigate through this. Now, we do have to provide still quite a lot of content to these users, but how we do it, it can really make a difference. That's why we have introduced on all pages of the new EURAXESS the page contents menu, which is a floating menu. It will follow you until the end of the page, and it shows you at all the time where you are. And like this, you can also go directly to the most relevant parts of this page that is for you. Of course, when you change the structure of a platform, you cannot keep using the old content. And we are quite happy about it, because changing the structure of the platform allowed us to improve the content of EURAXESS. And again, here we learned quite some things. So first of all, the content should be user-specific. It should be clearly organized. We need to work with priorities, and it should be understandable and consistent. And if you look at user-specific, if you look at the old EURAXESS portal, we will see that there is information there that is to the policymakers. There are other platforms for that, such as the Euro Policy platform. There's information there that relates to the inner workings of the network. Of course, very useful for us, but should not be on the main portal. There is extranet for that. And that's why we have really cleaned up the content and customized it to our core users, which are not policymakers or the network members. Secondly, we also looked at which information is the most important. With a very simple rule, the most popular and important information should be displayed first, but it's not just that. In the past, we could see that information about the same topic was spread across the portal, and the users had to find their way. And so now we have grouped things, we have removed applications, and we have worked on a more thematic-based approach. And finally, the content should be understandable and consistent. The content on the previous EURAXESS has been drafted by so many different pen holders. So what we have actually done now is we have edited most of the text, we have harmonized the tone of voice on the entire website, and we started using a very simple plain language. A lot of work has already been done for a lot of pages, but of course, given the size of EURAXESS, this is something that will continue in the near future as well.
Some of you, names will be mentioned tomorrow, had already guessed that one of our most significant improvements on the platform was the unified search. We all know that EURAXESS is a very large portal, including quite some content, and the content keeps on growing. It is produced by different networks on a daily basis. So, especially for non-familiar users, to search for a specific piece of information or specific category of content could be somehow cumbersome, especially if I don't know where to look exactly to find some piece of information. That is why now there is one place to search for all available information. The search bar is placed on the home page, and the search can be run either by simple keywords or with the help of a list with pre-selected categories you can choose from, and it will bring you to a result page including results from all these categories. So as shown in the example, if I put Austria as a keyword, I will get the results across the entire website for the different categories: pages, vacancies, events, webinars, organizations. So one place to search in the entire portal. Aside from the unified search, we also all know that one of our most visited pages at all times on the European portal, and one of the most valuable tools, is the search for job funding and hosting opportunities. So, of course, we worked to enhance it with a set of new features that were added in this page. You can see here some of them, then I will go more into details. First of all, the way vacancies are displayed. Now is the user who can choose if they want to look at a full or a simple version of the teasers for each vacancy. So more or less details, corresponding of course to more or less vacancies on one single page. Also, initiatives are now, it can be filtered, job vacancies can be filtered per initiative. You see there the filters of HR Excellence Award, Science for Refugees and Resaver. And they can also be shared on social media with a clean list of social media outlets. We tried to be very comprehensive and to cover, let's say, all the active countries and regions, because we know that social media are differently used across the world, and EURAXESS is globally active, so we had to think about this. And now comes my favorite, which is the saved searches and notifications. So from now on, users can save their favorite searches on the job funding and hosting opportunity page. Such searches can be updated, deleted, edited, changed according, let's say, to the needs of the users, to the stage of their careers. And they will receive alert notifications either when the job that they flagged as preferred is about to expire, so close to the deadline, in order to facilitate the application process, because we received this comment several times from different target audience, or receive alerts for similar job offers published on the portal. So through a very nice button that had been added on this page, which is called Match My Profile, the user can decide to see only the vacancies that are mostly matching his or her profile, their background, based on the filters they select when they create their research profile. Research field or subfield, years of experience, geographical search for a job, and so on. With this button, they will get on the page, when they search, the offers that mostly suit their profile, and they can receive an email that will look like that, of course, in the new template, in the new look and feel, regarding, let's say, a notification for expiring jobs or for similar jobs that can be of interest based on their profile.
Perfect. We are also changing how users will access EURAXESS European portal. Now, EURAXESS is open by default, but some information of EURAXESS needs to stay visible only after somebody has logged in. What we actually want to do is to achieve two things. We wanted, first of all, to make EURAXESS account much more than just a EURAXESS account. And secondly, we wanted to make it secure for people that want to have additional security options. That's why we are integrating EU login in EURAXESS. And quite a lot of advantages are associated with this EU login. By integrating EU login in EURAXESS, EURAXESS users will also have access with the same account to a variety of existing services, such as the EU funding and tending portal, the Erasmus Plus app, the Digital Skills and Jobs platform, EURES, EURAPASS, and there are also quite some national level initiatives that are using EU login. And like this, we want to increase the value of EURAXESS account. Second advantage of introducing the EU login is that while the single factor authentication will remain default on EURAXESS, like it is right now, for the users that do want more protection for their accounts, they can also go for a two-factor approach. One of the additional changes, which is, I believe, quite important, and maybe perhaps just about the EU login. So we will start introducing the EU login this week for all the new users. And for all the existing users, there's going to be a transition period until the end of this year. Now, one of the consequences of EU login is that we can have better interoperability with some of the existing initiatives. And a very clear example is the interoperability between EURAXESS and EURAPASS. We actually want to achieve two things here. First of all, we wanted to make it easier for researchers to apply for jobs. They find a job on EURAXESS, then they have to create their CV in EURAPASS, have to create their motivation letter on their computer, have to send it somewhere. And we wanted to bring this recruitment process as much as possible to EURAXESS. At the same time, we also wanted to improve the quality of information that recruiters have of the potential candidates. And this is where we see that this interoperability between EURAXESS and EURAPASS is quite important. If you look at the current My Profile on EURAXESS, it has a very limited information. Name, first name, last name, first name, email address, very the basic information. The current CV on EURAXESS, well, researchers just upload one CV, potentially outdated, and they cannot customize it. And when it comes to motivation letters, users cannot create motivation letters in EURAXESS. And this is really what the strength is of EURAPASS. EURAPASS has a very comprehensive EURAPASS profile that has a lot of personal information, work experience, education, information about additional skills and certificates. On EURAPASS, you can create a CV based on your profile. All the CVs that you've ever created come into a CV library. They are customizable, and same holds for the motivation letters. So what we want to achieve here is to merge this information. So also the user, when they provide one time a lot of information to the EURAPASS, they don't have to do this again for EURAXESS. So that's why we will be merging the two profiles together, while at the same time still requesting from the users some specific information from them, such as, for example, what is their, if they are R1, R2, R3, or R4 level. When it comes to the CV, we want to get rid of the current approach where researchers have to upload a CV on EURAXESS. Their CV library from EURAPASS should be visible in EURAXESS. It should be also customizable, so in case they want to apply for a job found on EURAXESS, they can also create their CV or modify existing one. And same holds for the motivation letters. And with this approach, we wanted to go to the next step, where more of the steps of a recruitment take place in EURAXESS. We are now currently working on this interoperability. We are at the final stage, and we hope to have this interoperability finished by the end of this year. Over the past minutes, Dalila and I had the pleasure to present quite some new key features of the revamped EURAXESS. Of course, there are also a lot of minor changes that you might spot soon, or even already today, and we do not have the time to go through all of them. And these minor changes affect so many different things. It affects organizational profile, researcher profile, the news and events section. There is webinars. There is now a search function for the webinars. It's about how companies post jobs, how can it be made quicker and easier, and etc., etc. But these are the changes we hope you will notice by using EURAXESS. Now, you have seen the presentation of the key main features. We would like to hear from you which features you like the most. And that's why we would like to ask you to take your phones once again and quickly give us some feedback on these features. Perfect. Now, for a critical participant in this audience, and I guess it's most of you, if not all of you, you have probably noticed we have still not discussed one thing, which is the ERA Talent platform, right? Now, the ERA Talent platform has been prominently featured in quite some important policy documents. You have the Council conclusions of 2021 on deepening the ERA, improving the attractiveness of research careers, and making brain circulation a reality. Also more recently, in December 2023, so December last year, you have the Council recommendation on the European Framework for Research Careers. And while the concept of an ERA Talent platform has evolved over time, the need for it has not. We know that we have quite some relevant and important initiatives at the EU level that support research professionals and research performing organizations. But they are separate initiatives. It cannot always be visible for the end users how do these initiatives connect together. And also users are not always aware because they use one initiative, but they might not be familiar with the other initiatives. That's why the ERA Talent platform is a relatively simple solution to this. The ERA Talent platform serves as a one-stop gateway to existing initiatives. What we wanted to do here is to make sure that while the ERA Talent platform refers to the existing initiatives, that the identity of the existing initiatives that is, in the meantime, in most cases, established for many years, such as EURAXESS, a very well-established brand, still remains there. But in the back office, we want to make sure that we unlock synergies between these initiatives. And also for the users, it becomes more and more visible how different initiatives connect to each other, even if different initiatives have a different identity. I think this is a very important point, because this shows that even there is a need for standardization, this standardization is balanced, and it will not neglect everything what was done, for example, for EURAXESS over the past 20 years. Now, EURAXESS has already been discussed in detail. There are also some changes related to the other 5 initiatives. First of all, we have the HR Excellence in Research Award, an initiative which is in full transition following the new Charter for Researchers adopted in December last year. But even if the initiative is in the full development, we have already put the pages of this initiative in the new look and feel of also very similar to EURAXESS. Another initiative that had a revamp of its website, it's ReSaver, where we have totally changed the design of ReSaver, making it much more simpler, cleaner, and user-friendly for the users, being, in this case, employers. If we look at the Research Careers Observatory, this is also an initiative which is in full construction, but here you can already see what this initiative will do. And if you want to learn more about it, you know where to go. You can, of course, go to any of these initiatives individually, but with ERA Talent platform, everything will be on the one spot. And we already can find some interesting information about this upcoming new initiative that is currently under development. The Innovation Talent platform is relatively new. It has not changed much, except the new look and feel. And finally, we have the Research Comp, also a very important deliverable of last year, where we have also included this information and the part of ERA Talent platform in it. These are the main observations, the main outcomes of the ERA Talent platform. In case you would like to visit it, you can visit it on this domain. Thank you very much, but perhaps we have asked you over the past years on so many occasions, how would you suggest to improve EURAXESS? And we would actually like to see what are the things you appreciate the most about EURAXESS. And we see the results are not only centered around one thing. I do see that the percentages do not add up. So I guess most of you like several things. It's good to see that the new structure and content is quite popular together with the integration with EURAXESS. So I think this is quite good. It also means that you probably understood my presentation. So that's very good. And then we also see that nobody or not so many people have selected that none of these new functionalities are interesting. So thanks a lot for that. Thanks a lot to everyone who has contributed. A lot of people in this room has actively contributed, and even more people outside this room have contributed to all these changes.
Indeed. I don't know if they are online, but I would like to thank the Netcompany team. I hope someone is listening. You all know more or less that they contributed also to previous BHO meetings. So thanks a lot, because they are also the people behind these changes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dalila and Slaven, again, a round of applause to them. Thank you for this revamped EURAXESS and new possibilities. Dear guests, this is the best moment to tell that we have a 23 minutes coffee break, I think. Yep, 23 and a half. I would like to invite you to the foyer for the coffee break, for your networking, and we are meeting here again at 4 o'clock. I'm inviting, of course, also those of you who are watching us online. Thank you for this part, and see you soon.